Triumph?
That's the train of thought getting derailed.
I'm good. Welcome to episode number 18 of Don't Hate the Podcast. Today is Saturday, May 23rd, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, Mark Money. Joining me this week is Killer Metal Mike.
What up, what up?
Pop That Baby Maker.
Hey.
And every week right here on twitch.tv/Don't Hate the Podcast, we give our thoughts and opinions on games and gaming culture. Patch notes for this episode, not too much has changed since last time. Social media icons are down at the bottom of the Twitch page. That'll take you to Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. That's where you can find the newest episodes of Don't Hate the Podcast, uploaded every Sunday morning, technically, because I do it right when we're done. So we finished recording here on Twitch on Saturday nights. It goes up. It's there Sunday morning. And if you want to get questions read on the show, the question box is also here on Twitch. But leave a message on any of our social media accounts, and then we'll try to read that content. And if you want to have your voice heard on the show, or maybe join a call on the show, or whatever you want to do, you could do that. Maybe, I mean, we have the technology, right? You know what I'm talking about?
You do.
Today's episode, we're talking about some breaking Jak and Daxter news, which is crazy to say. Switch Piracy and Tony Hawk. But first, what's up, fellas? What you been playing?
I'm going to, off the cuff here, throw in a new segment.
Okay.
Real quick.
Wait, where's the new segment sound effect? Hold on, I don't have that queued up.
It's just like lots of air horns going on. Like,
All right.
I believe that there was a birthday that took place in between last podcast and this podcast.
Many people's birthdays took place between those two podcasts.
Specific, I think we hit the big 4-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, how's it feel?
I am working on my fourth decade of life. Give me a break. I turned 35, just so everybody knows. I am still very old. I understand.
Again.
Yeah, it's ancient to me.
Is that your way of saying happy birthday? Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Happy birthday.
From me and the fans, happy birthday.
All three of us.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it was fun. I had fun. Wait, that's your new segment? Talking about my birthday? Yeah.
The birthday bomb segment.
It was actually a really nice birthday. Because I took the day off of work for no reason, not because it was my birthday, just because it was time. So I took Thursday and Friday, and today's Saturday, and tomorrow's Sunday, and then no work on Monday. So I've been on vacation for my birthday.
Living it up.
Yeah. I guess that sounds kind of fucked up. Well, a lot of people are out of work right now, but it's just like, I've been
Still doing it.
Just been working the whole time through. So for me, it's really nice to not be there right now. Why am I talking about work? Because I've been putting in that work on them video games.
I was going to say, in all that not working time, got plenty of time to be playing them games.
Am I going first this week?
Yeah, what are you playing?
I finished Superliminal.
Oh, very nice.
That game's cool.
Did you like the end?
The game's kind of short.
Yep.
Superliminal, for anybody who doesn't know, is like this surrealistic sort of lucid dreaming experiment, like sleep therapy. Like, when I realized that it was actually about sleep study, and lucid dreaming, I got super into it because I was super into lucid dreaming for a long time. And the game is just like first-person 3D environment, sort of. Just think it's Portal. Yeah, it's Portal without the portal gun. And instead, we talked about this when Mike was talking about when he was playing it, that you control the perspective of things to alter what's real. The whole time throughout the game, you get this little message that perception is reality. And the more and more I played it, and then the more time I spent away from it, like when I wasn't playing it, I found that perception really is reality. Like no matter what you think is real is only as real as how you perceive it. And it sounds like so deep and trippy, but really it's just like, that's just your reality is whatever you're experiencing. That's what that really means.
Yep.
So I like the message. I thought it was cool, and like I like how you said that it was this really snarky sort of robotic narrator, kind of giving you shit the whole way through. But I couldn't really tell because I never felt threatened by the doctor. You find these messages from the doctor. I was hoping that Pop would play this so that all three of us could have an actual in-depth discussion about. But you could get through it in I would say, I don't know what, 4 hours if you stayed on it the whole time.
What did you What is it? What is it on? Like
PC and PS4, but I played it on PC.
Yeah, me too.
I used my Epic Game Store coupon to take $10 off. And
yeah, I might. I'll see if I can pick it up. I like when I watched the trailer.
I was gonna gift it to you actually on my birthday, and then I was like, no, that's not right.
It's my birthday, damn it.
No.
There's this one where I feel like from what I remember seeing the trailer and then thinking I can't remember if they said it was in VR for the PS4 or I thought that it would be a good VR game.
I couldn't remember that either, but I think they did say that it was playable in VR, which would make a lot of sense and really fuck you up, I think, in a couple of ways.
Yeah. More than a couple of ways.
But so not to get too tangential on that, I finished it. I liked it. It wasn't the greatest thing I ever did. And as far as how I felt about the ending, without any spoilers, I was hoping that the game would sort of ramp up in difficulty because there were a few spots where I was scratching my head. Like it's all figuring, but really,
you have everything. Right.
Yeah, I don't want to say that it's click around and find the thing because it's not really like that, but
it definitely gets to a point where you're looking for things to touch.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's not about touching anything; it's about shifting into a perspective to make a thing that you could touch. Right?
Yeah.
I remember one part that really was slipping me up where you're trying to get it's where it really starts fucking with you where you can't pick things up anymore. You click on it and it'll just make a copy of it, but a smaller copy. And there was this ball that I needed to get to the top of a hill, and there was a big giant fan, preventing me from doing that. And by the time I got the ball to the top of the hill, the way that I did it, it was this tiny little, smaller than a marble. It was like a pea. I just dropped it on the Switch and was able to move without any context. Nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about, but so like I said, without spoiling the game, I just hoped that it would ramp up in difficulty, and they just opted to go for the more now it's really weird, everything that you used to see so clearly is not so easy to see anymore, but it's they made it hard for no reason for a second. And then it was just over, where I was like, man, it would be really cool if I could explore this world a little more and do more of these puzzles.
I kind of felt my moment, though, was at the end of that, one room towards the end where you go in and there's nothing but windows to look out in this white room, and you go out the door at the other side of this hallway. And when you do it, it just brings you back in an infinite loop.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, how in the hell am I supposed to figure this out? And as soon as I did that, I was like, holy shit, perception's a lie, man. Everything's a lie.
Wait,
everything.
But I felt like I did it by accident. What was the key to that?
That the wall wasn't there. It wasn't a wall. It was floating windows in negative space. So you walk around between the windows, through the wall, and then you can go around the exit that loops you back to the entrance, and there's another exit.
Still don't really remember because I think I just backed up into it without. Because I remember it was no matter which way I looked, if I looked this way, it was always a brick wall. So I had to go this way, and then I would loop back. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
And then if you looked the other way, that was a brick wall, and you had to go through the other door. But it never. Yeah. I think I just figured it out by accident, that one. So
Right.
my big aha moment was, where the fuck was it? I think it might have been the big bouncy castle that you had to get inside of and come out in a higher spot and then make it bigger, then go back through the other way so you could come out the bigger door and that's when it started really getting cool to me, like really sort of Alice in Wonderland, down the rabbit hole type of shit.
Oh, like right towards the end.
And it's really actually kind of impressive the way that game runs, because technically when you go through one of those, whatever you want to call it, wormholes, portals, if you will, it's like you could see inside, and that's a level in there.
Yep.
And no matter which way you enter, you're entering from the perspective that you're looking at it. So it's like the game somehow sticks an entire... It figures out a way to put like an entire level,
one level inside of another one.
Even though it's not, but it just makes it seem like that. You just pop out somewhere else, but the way that it changes dynamically with
to be able to punch a hole into the other level.
Yeah, it's
to put you in wherever you put it.
The game was a real mindfuck, I will say that. But so yeah, that was cool. I'll give it a thumbs up. I mean, it's like if we start adding half points to our scale, it would be in between this and this. So like maybe here.
It's a thumbs up if you can get it on sale.
That's right.
I feel like it's a really good game if you can get it on sale.
Yeah, it was when I went and got it. They wanted $15, and I used a $10 Epic Game Store coupon that I had from the GTA thing.
Yep.
Which, by the way, we playing some GTA tonight, or is that a thing? Yeah. Awesome. Pop, did you get it?
Yeah, I have it
on PC.
Yeah, I downloaded it.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
I don't have it installed. But
well, I mean, you have the technology.
We'll get there.
I know you've been going to bed at weird times and getting up early.
I've been old man Pop this week. I've been going to bed at like 9:30.
Oh man,
waking up at 5.
Not today. Anyway, I've been playing like so many things. I actually ridiculously saw on PS4's having a bunch of sales on their store. So I bought the $80 version of Red Dead Redemption 2, but it was like 44% off, so it ended up being like $35. And then I started playing it, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I get why like a lot of people love it and a lot of people hate it. I get it. It's like, it's beautiful. It looks like it's going to be so much fun, and it reminds me of Quentin Tarantino movie, like The Hateful Eight, the opening of it, and I'm just like, this is going to be awesome. And then it's so fucking slow, and I'm just like, how am I ever? Am I stupid or something? Like, how am I ever going to finish this game?
Like, as dumb as this sounds, like I played all the way through Red Dead 2.
Really?
The game doesn't start until Chapter 3.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
I heard
like this motherfucker. These button prompts were pissing me off a little bit, because it was like, okay, search these cabinets. Okay, pick up these things. Now it's like, go search this barn. Okay, I'll go search the barn. Okay, choose whether you choke this guy out or spare his life. Gotcha. Now go get the horse. Now it's like, here's this button. Pat the horse. It's like, all right, motherfuckers. Like, couldn't this all just be a cutscene? Honestly, like, okay, you taught me how to kill the guy and shoot the guns and choke the dude. Great. Am I going to use that, or is it all just going to be like, choose to choke this guy, or like pat the horse? Like, I get that. Okay, introduce that as a mechanic, fine, but like to have so look, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna give it like an honest chance to get to this chapter 3 that you're talking about and see what the game kind of opens up to, because you do get to a point where you can travel around freely, right?
Yes, that's chapter 3.
Oh my god, I'm like 15 minutes into the fucking intro. My girlfriend's like, can we watch something like that's not a blatant ripoff of a Quentin Tarantino movie?
So without like spoiling anything,
I'm like, it's satire.
I don't even know if there's really like spoilers in like the early game to begin with, but like,
I don't care.
What they do is they choose to like most games you have, right, will have like, I think of like Skyrim, right, that like comes to mind, where Skyrim has that initial like, hey, like we're gonna introduce you to the game. There's dragons, like right, and then it has you go through like
a mission or two,
a tutorial level of the game where it's like we're gonna tell you how to do everything. Like here's enemies. This is how you beat them. Here's magic. This is how you use it. Here's a bear. You can choose to fight it, or you can choose to do stealth. So you don't always have to fight things.
That's
you can
right.
stealth around them, right? Like it goes through like every part of the game in this level that like
I like that mission.
Kind of doesn't fit the rest of the game. It's just like hey, we're going to teach you how to use all of the stuff without like being like, here's a tutorial of how to use all the stuff. And I feel like that's what Red Dead tries to do, but they take a different approach of like, we're going to tell story that's important as we tell you how to play the game. So it's spread out over 2 chapters where it's like, the tutorial of the game is the first 2 chapters, right? But they just spread it out where it's like, no, you're going to go on a mission. You're only going to learn one thing, which is a tutorial of like, here's how to use the horse. But also we're going to attach that with a story point that you kind of sort of need to know. And like they do that with the first 2 chapters. So it's like, it is super slow and it's super boring, but like, I feel like you just have to, like, as much as it sucks,
you got to power through it and get to the fun part.
The first, like, 2.5 chapters as the tutorial of the game with story behind it, so you have to pay attention. It's not like you can just breeze through it. Like, I don't know, it was a choice they made. Like,
see, I feel like they did it perfectly in GTA 4. They did it perfectly in GTA 5. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like in GTA 5, you did a heist, which started with a heist. That was like a major point of that game. And then as soon as that like kind of intro thing opened up, you started with like a high-speed race.
Yeah.
In a fast-ass car with Franklin, right?
Exactly.
And it was just like, yeah, here's the game that you know. And like,
yeah,
Red Dead Redemption is a sequel. Yeah.
They do the same thing in Red Dead, right? Like,
but horses are way slower than...
Yeah, it's just that in Red Dead, like, the setting, and I think this is, like, this could be, like, a whole podcast discussion, but, like, that's why I think the online isn't as good for Red Dead as it is for GTA, because just naturally, like, the things that you're doing in GTA are more fun than the things that you're doing in Red Dead. It's way more fun to drive a fast car than it is to ride a horse.
Or
right?
to,
So
like, let's go collect
way more
some
fun to
coyote
shoot,
pelts.
Like shoot something with an automatic gun than it is with like a revolver. You know, like I just feel like it's like one of those things where it's like the setting kind of like plays against it.
Yeah,
but
I'm totally
to do the same thing.
Here.
They tried to do what they did in GTA 5 in Red Dead 2. It comes off as extremely slow for the first 2 chapters.
And this is what I was thinking when I picked it up, is that I really am interested in a third-person action story-based game. Those are the games I like, and I feel like I could get that out of Red Dead Redemption 2. It probably will be entertaining to watch. You know what I mean?
Story missions will be right up your alley.
Yeah. So, and then like I'm sure like the in-between stuff, they're Rockstar. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like a like the gunfight that I already had was really fun. So there's that. You know what I mean?
The story missions come off as very like Uncharted level-esque like mission.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's
they're very well thought out. They're like highly produced missions. Like
I just don't like that you told me like if you go too far off the path that they want you to go, then they fail your mission. That pisses me off. Like just don't allow me to go off the path. How about that? But anyway,
but it does tell a good story. Like I feel like it is worth playing through.
Yeah, so I started that today, foolishly thinking I had time to really get into it, which I didn't. And the other game that I started this week was Hypnospace Outlaw, and so fun. It's so fun, and I almost gifted that one to Mike. because I was like, he's got to play it. I saw it's on your wish list.
That's one. Of
As
those
soon as
games
that fucking thing goes on sale, I was like, oh, $20, man. They're gonna do me dirty like that. But it's worth it. It's just
like I want to talk about it.
Yeah, we gotta all play that and talk about it. I think we could have a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
So that's really. I did do a short stream for like an hour this morning on my Mark Money account, which I haven't done in a couple of weeks now. So I was playing Crash Bandicoot 2. Yeah. Pop was up because he gets up early these days.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he hadn't been to bed yet, but he's like, no, I just woke up and was having my tea.
I feel like Crash 2 is like the unloved child.
It's great,
it's like
though.
Crash 1 is like the one that everybody remembers. And I think Crash 3
is like the best, most polished one.
All of them, and like Crash 2 is just that weird middle child.
The cutscenes are terrible at Crash 2. Like, it's making me like, come on, guys. But, you know, it is what it is. The game is super fun, and it looks like the animations and stuff are so much more refined from the first one. It's pretty impressive that it's actually still just a PS1 game. It looks great. It really holds up. That's the other thing on my short list, is to get the remakes of those for the PS4. But I want to at least see all of them on PS1 before I get that, because I played the shit out of Crash Team Racing, and that one I'm definitely gonna get.
Dude. I haven't picked up that remake yet, but I
want that. Oh, Crash Team Racing on the PS1 is amazing. That was, I wouldn't have called it a Mario Kart killer, but it was a contender for sure. It was so fun. It just had elements to it that, I don't know, I guess made it unique in a way that was. I mean, the power sliding too. Like, I feel like they mastered the power sliding before Mario Kart really did that right, because you had Mario Kart on. Well, actually, no. On the 64, Mario Kart 64, you could power slide, right, and get a boost. Oh, that's what it was. In Crash Team Racing, you power slide and you charge up a boost, but then if you keep the slide going, it charges it up to an even bigger boost. That was how, like, if you could get, like, master the corners like that, you could fly through those levels. It was great. Anyway, that's what I've been playing. Anybody can go next.
Okay. I only got 2.
Okay.
So this week I jumped back into The Last of Us.
Yes.
Trying to make sure that I get that one done before the next one comes out. So
you got like 30-something days.
Yeah.
Where are you at in the story? Like,
so I just came through a subway full of like clickers and shit.
A subway with Ellie
and Tess.
Oh,
so
okay.
I saw both of them. From what I looked at, so I looked at a complete walkthrough on YouTube just to see how far I was. So the total video was like 10 hours or something like that. Yeah. And I was at the like 2-hour mark.
Okay.
So I'm like a fifth of the way done.
What difficulty are you playing?
Just the whatever normal is. You know, really here for the story. You know.
Yeah, totally.
Not here to break my balls.
But are you still having fun with it?
Yeah, still having fun with it. It hasn't like driven me bonkers or anything yet.
You playing on PS4, right?
Yep.
Did you mess with the settings and like change it back to 30 frames per second, or are you playing on 60 frames?
Whatever it's set to, I guess 60.
The interesting thing is that you can lock it at 60 frames per second, and the only thing that's affected is like there's shadows that come in through windows. Like wherever the light's passing through a window, the shadow on the floor becomes like jagged, like almost like 16-bit shadows. And if you turn it off and put it on 30 frames per second, the shadows look amazing. It's so weird. Yeah, but after playing at 60, I can't go back to 30 on that game. It's really weird. So, okay, that's cool that you're playing.
Yeah.
So probably, does it feel like a PS3 game when you're playing it?
No. I would believe that that's a PS4 game. You could easily pass that as early gen PS4. especially because they upped all the textures and everything.
Yeah. Since you have the PS4 version, I would definitely also recommend
playing
once
Left
and
Behind.
playing the DLC. Like
Yeah.
the DLC is maybe like at most like another 5 hours.
Yeah.
But it's really
Yeah,
good.
the story's very compelling, but also like the gameplay sequences in there, like kind of, I wouldn't say are better than the main game, but they rival them. You know what I mean? In a sense.
Do one thing in the DLC as far as gameplay goes that they don't touch in the regular game that I think is like huge. That I think they're probably going to do in the sequel a lot. But yeah,
I wish you could say what that is.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but it's definitely like worth playing through.
Wait, Mike, could you take your headphones off for a second?
Yeah, hold on.
What are you talking about?
So like in the DLC, they touch on like in the game, you either fight like the clickers, right, or like various versions of clickers, or you fight humans, but they never mix the two.
Oh,
and in the DLC,
yeah. You're right. Okay.
Right, and
Yeah.
like I think they're gonna do that a lot in the sequel.
You're good. That wasn't even that bad of a.
I just don't want to because he hasn't played.
Yeah, no. That is cool when that like.
Yeah, it is like a cool moment.
It's a mechanical thing that when you experience it, it's rewarding.
I think it's like a technical like the PS3 couldn't handle a lot of this, so like
no, Left Behind was also on the PS3.
Yeah, but what I'm saying like a large scale, right? Like that part of the DLC is very small.
Oh right. I get you.
I just don't think they could like
make that happen throughout the entire game. I see.
But yeah, I'm glad you're playing it. Like that's definitely one that like hopefully you finish it before Last of Us 2 comes out, and hopefully maybe we can have like a discussion about that before the sequel comes out.
Yeah, I'm down to start doing like some dedicated episodes of this just to add more content to the Twitch channel.
Yeah.
And ultimately to everything. Cut them up, put them on Instagram and stuff. That'd be fun to have these little focused discussions. Last of Us definitely got to be one.
Yeah, so I've been playing that. And then I also started this week Deadly Premonition Origins on the Switch.
Nice.
And that game was exactly as advertised to me. It is Twin Peaks, the game. You play a FBI agent sent into a small town to investigate the death of a well-known popular girl in the town. Like beat for beat Twin Peaks. But some weird shit going on at the same time with these like back-bent bridge walking zombie demon ghoul things. I don't even really know. And this sweet dude with an axe and glowy eyes. It's the only thing that.
Wait, this is a remastered game, right? Or just a re-release?
Yeah, from the 360.
Oh, okay. So is it what like up?
Tell with that one.
They up the resolutions, or it's just the exact same game?
I'm pretty sure it's just a port right over. I don't think they did really anything to it.
But you remember this game, or you've never played it?
I never played it. I wanted to play it, and then I had looked at like a couple conventions just to see because I never saw it in like game stores and stuff. So I figured there maybe, but I never saw it.
Is it uncommon on the 360?
I don't think it's super uncommon. I think it was like the last time that I looked that I was gonna buy it. I think it was like $30, but it's just like something that I was hoping to stumble across and never did. And then they re-released it for the Switch because now Deadly Premonition 2 is coming in July for the Switch. So I'm hoping to finish this one before the next one comes out.
Oh, so they're doing a sequel to that game, but with modern sort of. Okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
So I love the Twin Peaks fucking David Lynch whole aesthetic to all of it. It's one of my favorite TV shows probably of all time. So
I was always
that as a game is super fun.
I was always told since because Resident Evil 4 is like my favorite Resident Evil game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was always told like if you like Resident Evil 4, you should try Deadly Premonition. But I never got to it.
No, not at all. I would not put those games in the same
I always
category
just
whatsoever.
assumed it was sort of like a Silent Hill-ish type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but it's, I would say, way closer to Silent Hill with just okay, so I don't know how far I am in the game, but from what I've done so far, your average run-of-the-mill, wandering around ghoul, zombie thing, whatever you want to call it, poses no threat to you whatsoever, really.
Okay.
You have a pistol with unlimited ammo right off the bat. So your pistol, 4 shots from your pistol, and it takes out any one of these regular goons.
Mm-hmm.
And then any one that would be harder, like the dude with the axe, he chases you down, but you don't really fight him with bullets and stuff. You get quick time events for all of your encounters with him, which was really driving me nuts because I feel I don't know if I just wasn't all there or my reaction speed's no good anymore because I'm getting old or something, but I could not hit these fucking button prompts. I could see them, but by the time my brain registered, okay, you need to push Y. Okay, you're playing on a Switch, so Y is located over here.
Oh,
by the
yeah.
time all that happens, I go, oh, and then it's too late. You're already dead.
Yeah.
So
that's
for
frustrating.
for 6 quick time events, I had to restart 5 times because I'm missing it every single time, and I'm oh, okay, push that one next time. Okay.
I wouldn't chalk that up to age. I would say that maybe you weren't all.
Maybe I wasn't all there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever it was also late
Something.
while I was playing it too.
Yeah.
Those quick time
when
events I ran into was
that shit'll put you to sleep.
Yeah.
Quick time. You know how many times I've fallen asleep playing games that have quick time events?
Quick time.
Because I'm not. Oh man, people falling asleep while they're playing video games is so funny. I had this buddy, not to get too off topic. He would be playing. We'd be up super late always. It was 2, 3 in the morning. But his dad always was up too, because his dad liked playing Call of Duty. This was 360 era, PS3, whatever. And but my buddy's name was Pete. He would be sitting in his chair, and his dad would just wait until Pete would fall asleep before he would play the game on his own account, log in and play Call of Duty. Pete would be passed out like this, but with this character still running, and eventually he would hit a wall and just be into the wall. So then if anybody ever tried to take the controller from him, he would wake up and just be instantly right back in the game. And a lot of times it was a third person, or could be a Call of Duty though, just running into a corner.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've found myself standing in the middle of a group of trees with my axe out in Animal Crossing, just standing there whack.
Man, now that you bring up Animal Crossing, I feel that would have been a better purchase than Red Dead if I was going to soak a bunch of time into a video game.
Absolutely.
You'll get a good story out of Red Dead, though. I said you'll get a good story out of Red Dead, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no story to keep you entertained. I feel with Animal Crossing, you'd be
the gameplay, though.
I could just play Bejeweled.
I mean, essentially, you're just killing time.
Anyway. Is that it, Mike?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Pop. What's been popping?
So I've still been chipping away at Xenogears.
Oh yeah, PS1.
Put maybe another 10 hours into it. I still it's a JRPG. I don't know if I feel I still story wise and stuff can't be this is a great game or this is an awful game. I feel I haven't played enough to know yet.
Still too
as
early.
Crazy as that sounds, because I feel I've put 25, 30 hours into it, but I still don't think that I'm still on disc 1.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I will say is the art style just grows on you continuously. Like I said, it's kind of the opposite of Final Fantasy VII, where it's 3D backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
environments, and then 2D character models.
Yes.
And it just comes up like, you know that game that came out on the Switch? I'm forgetting.
Octopath Traveler.
It's very like reminiscent of Octopath Traveler, where it's like it looks
premonition,
like
right?
I guess. It looks like a modern like
Is that even a
Square
word?
Enix game,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, but it's not, right? It's like a really old one, but it like looks very, very modern. Like the art style holds up incredibly well. And the music is also like fantastic. But like, I don't have much to say about that one. I just feel like I need to play
Well,
more.
it sounds
of it.
like you like it. I mean,
Yeah, like I like it.
you know,
So
I don't
far,
think
but, like,
I don't think you need
I
to
said,
have played like tons of JRPGs to think that
Yeah.
this one's good. If you like it, you like it.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like there's like from what I can tell, like looking up like the average playtime, people seem to say like it takes around like 80 hours to beat this game, and so I'm only like 25 hours in, so like I feel like there's a lot of room there for them to like fuck up. Like
Well, you're doing
it
pretty
could
good
just
though.
go
Yeah.
horribly wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like, but so far it's been pretty
Well,
good.
I mean, you've probably already like seen the gameplay loop. Now it's just about leveling
Yeah.
up and like
Yeah,
being
and,
able
like,
to
how did-
face like.
How did they like handle the story? Like where does it go? kind
Yeah, I
of thing.
suppose
Like,
the
I'm
story
just
could
now, I'm just now getting into like some of the side characters like arcs
be.
where some of them are interesting, some of them take care of it. So yeah, like I don't have much to say about that one. I've been playing like I made basically I called out somebody in a community that I like take part in
Mm-hmm.
to play a game of Madden. They play Madden all the time. They use an excuse to like not show up to things, whatever. So I was like, I've played Madden before. I bet I could beat you. And then it's turned into this whole thing where now like there's people want to like watch us, and there's going to be commentators and all of this stuff. So I've been playing a little Madden.
Okay. All right. Which one? The latest
Yeah,
Madden?
the most recent one I went through the Origin, I believe it's Origin Access or whatever. It's like $4.99 a month. So
Okay.
like I got the most recent Madden for $5.
Oh, you play on the PC?
Yeah, playing on PC with an Xbox controller.
It's a good way to play.
But yeah, I don't know. It's Madden. Like,
Oh yeah, but I had a lot of fun playing Madden.
I used to like religiously buy sports games like every year, and then I stopped at one point because it just got like the only way you could play the game is paying $60 and then just pumping money into it like consistently throughout the year to buy like card packs and like all this stuff. So I stopped playing them. So it's been a while since I played it, but like.
But why do you have to buy the card packs? Like, why can't you just enjoy the game?
So it's not that you have to buy the card packs. It's that nobody plays any of the other game. So if I was going into Madden just going like, hey, I want to play it as a single player experience, like that's all I want, that doesn't change, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, hey, like I want to play against people. Well, for a while there,
what, they all play with like their ultimate teams?
Yeah, exactly. Like for a while it was just like, hey, my favorite team is the Bengals, Mark's favorite team is the Patriots. We'll play each other online. I'm the Bengals. You're the Patriots. We play each other, right?
It's the Eagles.
Where like,
but,
yeah, okay, the Eagles. Like that stopped.
Yeah.
Around like 2015ish when they introduced the My Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
But then the way they handle that is you have to buy card packs to get players. And so that's the only game on like the game. That's the only game mode online that people play is My Ultimate Team. So it's like if I want to get that same experience of like, hey, I think I'm really good at the game,
but that's
I want to
really
play other people that think they're really good at the game. The only way to play that, like literally,
that's pay to win.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it absolutely is pay to win, but like that's how sports games are. Like it's just accepted.
Why
so
is that accepted?
So for example, I loaded up on PC, right? Madden's been out for a long time. It came out in like September, October of last year, like 2019. I loaded up on PC. I went to go join an online game where it was just team versus team.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to wait about 5 minutes to get a match, like to log into, like find a player that was also playing that way. and the total, like, it tells you how many people are playing that mode online, which PC I know is not like the biggest Madden like pool of people, but only 400 people were playing team versus team online on Madden.
So wait, if you play against this kid, how are you gonna play? Just team versus team?
Yeah. Like that, we've just agreed upon playing team versus team.
And on both on PC.
Yeah.
Can you do crossplay on Madden?
I just straight up told them, I was like, I don't want any excuses. Like, whatever platform you play on, I'll buy the game on that platform. I was hoping they didn't say Xbox because I don't know how I would have figured that out. But he said he played on PC, so I went ahead and got the PC version. But,
okay.
But yeah, so
now that you guys are gonna play on PC, and if you win, he's gonna accuse you of like cheating or modding your shit.
Yeah, like I don't care. It's just like I've already, like my favorite team is the Bengals. They're literally the worst team in the game. Like the Bengals had the worst record. They won one game last year. Like
they got the best uniforms though. I always like the Bengals.
The worst team in the NFL. Like if I win, like you know.
So you're gonna play with the Bengals.
Yeah, it's my favorite team.
And who's he taking?
I have no idea. He won't tell me. He's afraid to.
How are the Bengals your favorite team?
I mean, a long story that we could get into, but basically it boils down to Chad Johnson or Chad
Ochocinco. Yeah.
Whatever you want to refer to him as.
Yeah.
Basically, I have this like fetish for like if I'm gonna like something, I tend to go to like the like. You know, like if I like a sport, I like the like players that like talk shit.
Okay.
And like Ochocinco was like that to a T. Like he'd score touch. Like he like
emanated that trolling fucking.
I love Fortnite because I love killing people and then emoting on them. And then it's like Chad Ochocinco would score touchdowns and then go like propose to cheerleaders on the sidelines and like
you must be like
pull
a big
Hall of Fame jackets and like it was just like all the extra stuff that he was like he was good on the field, but then he'd do like extra stuff that other players wouldn't. And so like as like an 8-9-year-old, I was like, this guy is awesome.
You must be a big fan of Richard Sherman.
No, I mean, well, with football, like it's just I immediately gravitated towards the Bengals and then it was over.
I see.
Then eventually they got Terrell Owens at one point and was like, okay, like this just feeds into my like. But yeah, I don't know. So I've been playing Madden, but that's whatever. The other game that I've been playing is Resident Evil Code Veronica.
Okay.
So like I heard a lot about this when like I didn't really know much about the game, but then whenever it came out that like they were remaking Resident Evil 4, like a bunch of people came out and was like, I can't believe they're not remaking Code Veronica this, Code Veronica that. Like, I'm like, I've never played this. And I've been going, like I've been telling you guys, I've been going through kind of like my collection of games and just seeing what I have. And I found Code Veronica. It's a PS2 game. So I've never played this. I've heard a lot about it recently. Let me pop it in and see what it is.
Gonna pop that game in.
And basically, it's just like, at least from what I've played so far, it's like a really shitty like version of Resident Evil. Like it's not great. Like it's like I feel like more of the like less about like zombies and horror of Resident Evil and more about like action and guns. At least from what I've gotten so far, the few things that I will say is like it does the PS2 version. Like I did a little bit of research on it because I knew I was going to talk about it. The PS2 version, it came out on the Sega Saturn, I believe.
That makes sense.
It like started as a Resident Evil 3, basically, like the game. Like it was going to be a sequel to Resident Evil 2, and then ended up being a spin-off, and then it ended up being a port of Resident Evil 2 to the Sega Saturn, and then they couldn't do that, so then it became its own thing. But then it eventually got ported to the PlayStation 2, and it was like an updated version, which is like the kind of Resident Evil thing of
definitive edition.
Like, yeah, here's Resident Evil 1 remaster for the GameCube. Here's so it was like here's Code Veronica, but it's actually an updated version of the original Code Veronica that came out on the Saturn. And so basically they just like flex the power of the PS2 at the beginning of this game. It starts out with literally like a 15-minute like
movie
cutscene, essentially. Like you play a little bit of it, but like it's mostly cutscene of like this is what the PS2 can do. And it does, like, in that 15 minutes at the beginning of the game, it adds a ton of backstory to, like, Wesker, which is, like, a main kind of villain of...
that universe.
Series. So, like, that, I would say is, like, a big thing. Like, it does add a lot of, like, you're like, oh, like, this is maybe why he's doing things. He's not just, like, a bad guy for bad guy's sake. Like, he has some, you know, motivation behind him, and, like, you kind of learn more about him. But, like, so far from like the actual gameplay and stuff, it's like very like early PS2. Definitely seems like a PS1 game that was just ported to the PS2, which makes sense because it was like it came out before the PS2, right? So like it just has that like early PS2 like late PS1 vibes. And it's just like everything I hate about Resident Evil.
Does it
like,
have tank controls?
No, so it's the like one of the first Resident Evil games that has like 3D like controls. Like you can you don't have like full control.
What do you have to? You have to turn the camera with the L1 and R1 buttons.
Yeah, you use the analog sticks to move the camera.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But like the environments are limited, so it's not like you have like it's not like I can do like a 360 with the camera around the character. Like you're kind of limited to the levels.
Yeah, I get it.
But I don't know. It's been fun. Like I haven't played a ton of it. Like maybe like 2 or 3 hours into the game. But like I've heard people talk highly of it. Like so I'm interested to see like how the story plays out. The gameplay I hate though. It's very like action based, like not I don't know, not fun. What I
is
like.
Is it fun at all?
I mean, like I find it fun in the sense that like
you're progressing the story.
Claire and Chris Redfield, like the characters of the game.
Okay.
And because of like I know like where they go throughout the series and stuff, so it's like fun to like go back and see like, oh, this is kind of like their origins, right? Like you get to play Claire in Resident Evil 2, but like she's not like she's kind of like the helpless woman character because it's just like a time period of like that's how characters were in. But like yeah, like I don't know, so it's like fun for that sake, and it's also fun to get the stuff like, oh, here's a little bit of backstory about Wesker, like that's cool. Like I didn't know that. Like that was a like, you know, interesting thing to find out. But like the gameplay itself, like it doesn't appeal. It's like very
right.
Action game. Like you could label it as like any other like this is action game the game. And it'd be like, oh, okay, like
action game the game.
Shut up and take my money.
There's a bunch of army guys with guns, and you have guns, and unlimited ammo, and just shoot stuff. Like, I don't know.
Do you have unlimited ammo?
I mean, you don't have unlimited ammo, but you have unlimited ammo. Like, you never run out of ammo. Like, ammo is never a concern, which is, like, a very, like, complete, like, change from Resident Evil, right? Like, where Resident Evil 2 is, like, you have no ammo. You really have to focus on like when you use it and when you don't. You know, it's like you're always like, I only have one bullet. When do I use this type thing? And then this game is like, I can just spray everybody down, and it doesn't matter. I'm gonna find more ammo.
Suck it.
Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Damn.
Dope.
Code Veronica. All right, so 49 minutes in, we ready to start this thing? All right, we're gonna talk about some headlines. Let me play the stupid sound effect again. That's not the sound effect.
Sick.
It's this cool little
I just want the sound effect
news
to be air
music.
horn. We're getting into the news.
It's about to be. It's about to be because the headlines. We got breaking news broken to me. The supposed Naughty Dog fan in the room. I had no idea that this was floating around the internet. But Pop, you broke the news to me. So why don't you go ahead and take the reins on this one?
Yeah, so I think this kind of came out on Thursday. There was a Reddit post that got put up of some like screenshots along with a very like detailed description of what seems to have been like a paid game tester of some sorts, where they were talking about like the studio Bluepoint, who's known for kind of remaking games. They did Shadow of the Colossus. They did the Uncharted collection.
That's right. Yep.
They're kind of known for making Sony specific like remakes, and they've like Bluepoint has been out there saying that, hey, like before we do an original IP, our next game is also going to be a remake. It's going to be like a Sony thing, and it's way bigger than anything we've ever done. So they've kind of been talking about it.
Everybody thought Dark Souls, right? That was
everybody thought Demon Souls.
Oh, Demon Souls. Sorry, yeah.
But so according to this leak and these screenshots, which seemed very legitimate, like it didn't seem like something that somebody like threw up in Photoshop and then just posted. Like it seemed very official. But basically, this person said that they're remaking Jak and Daxter 1 through 3, and that they're making it unlike the Crash remake of 1 through 3 and stuff like that, like kind of recent remakes. This is going to be a retelling of the story, where rather than it being 3 different games, they're going to make it into one game, so it's going to be one story that is told.
Okay, so what I missed before, let's back up a second. What you were explaining before, and you might have just explained it just now. I was just taking a note down. Who is the original leaker? This is a game dev, right? But where's the actual original leak? Where does that live? Or has it been since taken down?
Yeah, I think it's probably been taken down. I'll see if I can find it. It was like somebody posted on Reddit and was like, "Hey, I was a paid game tester is not the right word. I can't think of what that term is.
Like a quality assurance? Or?
Yeah, like they paid this guy to come in and be like, "Hey, play our game."
Oh, a focus group tester.
Yeah. Like he was like, "Hey, I was one of those for Bluepoint, and here is screenshots to back that up that like weren't found on the internet previously, that were very official looking, of this Jak and Daxter remake."
I'm sorry, you're saying Dexter?
Yeah, Daxter.
I'm just fucking with you. But
and also like there was like the Jak and Daxter is like a part of it, right? Like there's also the the Cain
Blood Omen Legacy of Cain.
Legacy of Cain. Like that is also a part of this as well. Like it was those 2 games that this guy went into like quality test.
So I know there's a few
screenshots to back up both.
Did you find the screenshots? If you're still looking, I'm reading from Daniel Richardson at GameRant.com, and the most interesting part of what he's saying over here is that the leak suggests that a remake of the Jak and Daxter trilogy is scheduled to be released alongside the launch of the PS5, and a remake of Blood Omen Legacy of Cain is set to be released in 2021.
Yeah, the Jak and Daxter was like a big thing of note, was that like it's going to be a launch title for the PS5. And that it's also going to be announced during this Summer Games Fest.
So let's talk about this real quick, because this is interesting. If this is true, I mean, this would, I think, sell some systems. some people who like if this doesn't come to PS4, I feel like that's also kind of iffy to not put something like that out on PS4 because you've got the huge install base of something like 110 million users now that have purchased a PS4. So that would, I mean, but what do you want to make it exclusive to your new thing and say that it can only run on the new thing? Like, this is the next generation.
Sony has taken that standpoint of like, hey, we're going to have PS5 exclusive games, where like Xbox has kind of gone the opposite approach of like, all of the Xbox One X or Series X games are going to be Xbox One games that are just like enhanced for the new console.
I hate that it launches directly into. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, what a better way to like launch your new console than to put out a trilogy of games you already know that you love.
Yeah.
And be like, here they are, all three of them for the new thing.
So I just wonder, right, while that is a good marketing ploy or technique or method, whatever you want to call it, to put out some killer app to sell the hardware, I think that might just be like the road we're going down, is that Sony might very clearly move more units, right? But does that matter to Xbox? Well, Xbox, I feel like, is trying to build this ecosystem, and they're being like very transparent about that fact and saying like, look, the future is Game Pass, right? The future is being able to just like games on demand sort of a thing.
But also too, like, I feel like like, not to get too far into like the PS5, like, but like, I feel like
we're going to talk about the PS5 later anyway.
Yeah, so. Like, I feel like PlayStation has to kind of make that distinct line, because if they don't, there's no reason to buy a PlayStation 5. Or right now, there's really no reason to buy an Xbox. Like, I have no reason to buy one. Like, what games am I going to play?
Well, yeah, barring any sort of exclusive software.
But I'm saying even exclusive software, like what's coming out on the Xbox. Like, there's nothing. The next first party game.
We got a Halo.
That is both, right? Like, where it's like they don't really have anything. Where it's like right now, like
a new Halo's a system seller too, though.
Yeah, but no, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, it's a system seller, but like it's also like it's that's the reason why I would buy the new Xbox. Where it's like right now, like everything that like, hey, I want to play Last of Us 2, I can play that on the PS4. I want to play Ghost of Tsushima, I can play that on the PS4. And those are two huge games that they have coming out before the launch of it. So I feel like they kind of have to, like, cut it off, because it's like, then why would I buy the new one? When it's like all these already good games that everybody likes is on the old one, and there's also still new games that people are looking forward to that are coming out on the old one.
And
why would I buy the new
That's
one?
the big conversation these days, right? Is this next generation? That's the main topic that everything sort of revolves around. And I think the fact that a Jak and Daxter could potentially be coming to next gen, even if it's a retelling of the original trilogy, like you see what they did with Ratchet and Clank, right? That was Ratchet and Clank had this movie that came out that told like a retelling of the first game, but in movie form, and then this game came out and was like the game version of that movie, which was the retelling of the first game. So like this, if we try not to divert too much from the topic, a Jak and Daxter game is cool, but that sort of automatically spawns this conversation of, what's the plan for next gen, and like kind of everything is gonna always sort of come back to that until we get, some news, which, it's not a topic on our list today, but we are going to talk about the PS5 later on. But just to briefly mention that they are teasing this, there's this rumblings happening about a PS5 event or a PlayStation event coming the first week of June, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll get like these rumors. Maybe that's something that we'll hear about. Whichever one of these Jeffs on the internet takes hold of everything and says, here's what's happening now, isn't in my presentation of games coming out this summer, all summer long, whatever the fuck that is.
Just kind of like stick more on topic, like, too, though, I think that like if like I think that Shadow of the Colossus remake is like kind of one of those games that goes like underrated, or like people don't like. It's not like a game that people talk about a lot, but like
Well, they did a great
like
job with that.
the one thing that they do with that game is like, obviously it's a one for one like remake, right? Like they don't change anything. But I think they do a really good job of like, hey, here's this game that was on the PS2, and this is what they were going for, but they were limited by what they had. We're going to tell like the same exact story. We're not going to change anything. The controls are going to be the same. Everything's going to be the same. But like we're going to tell it how they wanted it to be told, but we're limited to, where it's like all these environments look so much better. All these like already impressive at the time, monsters look so much better. I think that's like, if you think about the Jak and Daxter series, right? Like it was ahead of its time as far as like open world, no load times,
right?
Like that
was
kind
the
of
big selling point, yeah.
So like it does kind of make sense where it's like, hey, like rather than making this 3 games, like if that idea was taken and put to like modern consoles, right? Like it would probably just be 1 game. Like,
yeah, Naughty Dog set out. They even said
like,
they set out to make worlds, not levels.
Yeah,
they wanted to,
exactly. Like, so I don't know. Like, I think like that's the big thing to take away is like, if anybody is going to like do something like this, I think they're like the perfect ones
for sure.
Like because we've had successful remakes like recently of like the Crash games, the Spyro games, right? Like you have the Tony Hawk game remake.
Yeah, this just makes sense. I think somebody's doing a Sly Cooper remake, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but like specifically with Blue Point, I think they're the ones to kind of take an idea and like really expand upon it for a remake. More so than just doing like a 1-for-1. Or
yeah,
like,
well, think what that means. If they're going to do all 3 Jak and Daxter games, then they're going to have all new dialogue, new voice actors. I mean, maybe they'll get the original cast, but they're going to come in and do new recordings. It's all going to be new. I mean, this is great news especially for fans of those games, fans of Naughty Dog, fans of Sony.
Fun.
Yeah,
they're good game.
I've only ever played the first Jak and Daxter, and I got really far in it, and then it was a streaming thing, fell off. So, but that's on my list of games that I really want to finish.
Jak and Daxter 3 is like dark. It's a dark game.
I'm hoping to get there.
I actually never played any of the Jak and Daxter games. Of this news, I'm more excited about the Blood Omen game.
Oh, really?
Because I sank way more than my fair share of time playing Blood Omen 2, just vampiring around, fucking shit up.
Cool.
So, like,
I think I have that game.
To see that game come back.
That's a PS1 game, right?
Blood Omen.
Oh no, that was a PS2 game, wasn't it?
Well, number 2 was definitely PS2. I don't remember if the first one was, because they also had what was the other one? Soul Reaver, which was
that's the
counterpart that goes to it.
That's the PS1 game.
Yeah,
I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know anything about Legacy of Kings, so like
vampire. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Turn into mist and shit.
So the leak claims there will be new narrative and gameplay elements that will be integrated into this well-known story. Yeah, that's
also the other
it says Naughty Dog is collaborating with them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The other big kind of thing was that like part of Naughty Dog is working directly with Blue Point to make like the game to some extent online. I don't know exactly how, but
the multiplayer, right?
Yeah, like it was just like they're working on a multiplayer.
And did we mention that? Did we mention that earlier? What, like in the podcast, or did we only talk about it when we were discussing? Yeah, so the big deal when The Last of Us 2's multiplayer was announced that it wasn't going to be shipping with the game, and that the team was working on a new sort of multiplayer experience. I just want to say it here like I said before, that I called that. I called that a long time ago, that the multiplayer is going to be incorporated into the, whatever new Jak and Daxter game. I said back then Jak 4 because I was like, but Jak 4, this remake would be a great segue into Naughty Dog then coming out and saying our next big game is going to be Jak 4 on the PS5.
It's a good gauge, right? Like, if this does extremely well, then they know that there's, like, the market out there for it.
Yeah, because maybe there is no multiplayer in this Jak and Daxter remake, but there is in Jak 4.
Yeah.
We'll see. We will see. Let's move on. And somebody... Mike, you want to take this one?
Nintendo Switch lawsuits in crackdown against Switch hackers.
Did you read this article at all?
I have not seen this. I did hear rumblings of Nintendo being upset with Switch hackers, but
Nintendo's been going
I have not
off.
seen this one.
Well, no. So basically, it was a website that was selling hardware to modify Switches, NES Minis, PlayStation Minis, all that stuff. The SNES Classic, the 3DS, Game Boy Advance. Like, it's a kit that you use to hack the firmware, and then you can load some third-party operating system and play pirated software.
Right.
I think this. So I'm reading this all from a article from Polygon. I don't know if you guys are looking at it. But basically, the interesting thing here is that Nintendo said that this is causing tremendous harm to the company. Nintendo lawyers said hundreds of the devices have already been sold. And so Nintendo's seeking $2,500. Oh, sirens on my side. Nintendo's seeking $2,500 per trafficking violation in each of these cases, as well as a permanent injunction to stop operations of these websites. Makes sense. But does this website have $2,500 for each one of these things that they sold?
Not unless the things they sold were like $3,000 a piece.
And I don't. It says here that they were $47.99.
Yeah, no.
So this is what Nintendo does. They say, "Oh, somebody's making money off our thing. Let's just drop the hammer on them."
Let's go get our money back, boys.
I mean, piracy is, back in the day, it was like, oh, somebody got their hands on like a burned, leaked. What was it? The leaked copy of Halo 2. It was like a French version of Halo 2 got leaked a week before the game came out, and people were playing it. There was one with like Melee. People were playing Smash Melee like before it ever came out, and then were entering tournaments and like kicking people's asses in Smash because they had never played it. Brawl. I'm sorry, there was a pirated version of Brawl that people. So that's almost like legend nowadays, because now it's just like, oh no, you just bypass the firmware, and then the thing is basically becomes a computer where you can run all sorts of stolen game. Like, I don't know, I'm not down with that. Nobody should really be down with that.
I feel like not newsworthy, but a good segue off of what you just said. I thought it was interesting that Switch hackers or whatever went into the Switch store and were able to essentially pull up the game files that Paper Mario game that was just announced is
the Origami King.
Yeah, it's fully done. Like the 1.0 version of the game is just in the Switch store.
Really?
It's just ready to go. Like, I'm sure there'll be updates from now until then. So the game will launch at a 1.6 or whatever. But
have the data miners been able to pull anything from it?
Yeah, I think it was there was hackers that were able to get into the store and pull up the listing, and then from that data miners were able to confirm that it's the full it's a 11 gigabyte down, it's the game, the full game is there. What seems it's done, ready to go. There might be some updates, but the 1.0 version is in the store, in the Nintendo store, ready to be played.
That stuff might not exist one day, people hacking into, but it'll have to be because society has changed. Until, like, while there's still shitty people out there, there's always going to be people, like, doing things that they shouldn't do. You know, and that's kind of just unfortunate. So, but it makes sense. Like, Nintendo's got more money than God, but they still just, they just squash these companies that pop up. Like, whenever.
It just kind of makes you think, like, when you go out and buy a new console, are you really buying the hardware, like the console? Like, what you do with it from that point on, is it still your choice? Or if you, like, make alterations like this, is it your say, or is it Nintendo's say now?
So here's the thing. I think if you buy a Nintendo Switch and then you modify it to play your own software or like other software, and then that other software, I don't know, like it's all about where do you get that other software, but like just as far as do you own the hardware, like kind of, yeah, you own the plastic, right, and you own the stuff that's inside, but just like the way that it's all soldered to the motherboard, like to work in unison, to run the proprietary operating system that ships on it, you don't own that. Like the intellectual property that is that whole concept, like you don't own that, right. But you do. So like if you could open it up and modify it and make it play like some other game, right, and you just keep that to yourself and don't ever like try and make money off of it, like I don't think Nintendo would ever give a shit.
Right.
But if you had it connected to the internet and they saw that you were tinkering around with their operating system, they might brick your system remotely. Right. So like there's all kinds. It's just like I don't know.
Like where do you draw the line? Like
you draw the line when you start trying to sell it on some stupid website. Like here.
Well, yes. Once you try and turn a profit, obviously we've crossed a major line.
Because like, you'll probably get away with it if you start selling shit to mod your NES, your original NES. Because Nintendo's like, we're not really selling NESs anymore. So like the go nuts. That's the Wild West now, right? Yeah. But they still make money selling 3DSs and Switches.
I was just going to say, like, I feel like Nintendo has drawn the line where it's like, I feel like because there is a bunch of stuff out there on, like, how to, like, hack your Nintendo Switch and be able to, like, almost, like, PSP it up and, like, be able to download all this other shit on it. And it's like Nintendo's made it very clear, like, hey, if you try to do this, we're going to make it where, like, you won't be able to, like, access online to this game or online to the console, so you won't be able to update the console with any updates that
they kind of flag your username, right?
Exactly. Like games won't be able to update. Games that need online to play won't be able to play. Like they've made it very clear that they're against that. So I feel like they're the ones that have drawn the line with this, where it's like you can still do it if you want. Like you can hack your Switch and play like arcade games on it if you want, but like you're also not going to be able to play like the newest, like Splatoon update because you just won't be able to like access the online version. Like I feel like they've kind of taken that stance.
Speaking of Nintendo liking to keep their money,
I don't know.
Apparently you can pre-order this new Lego Nintendo thing.
Oh, yeah, so the Nintendo...
Pop, is this your topic that you put in here?
Yeah.
That you've so interestingly named?
Like, disgusted with myself after I pre-ordered this, but like...
So you did pre-order it?
Yeah, the Nintendo Lego crossover went up for pre-order yesterday. It comes out, the release date is August 1st.
Okay.
And it's still up for pre-order right now.
I see that. $60. So what do you get with this? When I'm looking at it, I wonder if I could throw it up on the screen over here for everybody to take a look. This is Amazon.
Yo, 231 pieces though.
Yeah,
that's not really that much for a Lego set, though, is it? I mean,
it's a pretty big set, and I feel like it's a pretty small set, but it also comes with like some weird like app, something like functionality. Like it's not just a Lego set. Like I don't know if you guys remember the trailer that came out with this, but there's like it's almost like a board game type thing where like it seems to like there's like some like added like thing that you can I don't know that's my thing. That's why I titled this the way that I titled it, where it's like I saw this go live, and the pre-order go live, and it sold out immediately, right? Like it went up initially on Amazon and like sold out within like 60 seconds.
This thing?
Yeah.
Really?
And so then, like maybe 12 hours later, the like pre-order thing went up again, right? It was like, hey, the pre-order that sold out was for another site. I believe it was Walmart, I think, and it sold out immediately. Or it was, I don't remember what site it was, but it sold out immediately. I missed it, right? Like I clicked on the thing and it was already gone.
Wait,
So then I saw it go up for Amazon, and I was like, in my head, my thought process was, this already sold out on one website. I have no interest in this whatsoever. I don't really want it, but it's hard to get. So I'm gonna buy it. I have the option to pre-order this now.
So you're a scummy reseller.
Yes.
Well, but like I don't plan on.
But he never resales.
It's just like I got it because I knew
He's a hoarder.
Like I at least thought in my head it was going to be hard to get.
You thought it in your head?
Was my only like motivation to like pre-order it was like, this might be something that like is hard to find.
So you don't think you're gonna play with this thing?
No, like I don't even know if I'm gonna keep my pre-order. It was just like one of those things I did, and then like after the fact, I was like, I felt gross, like I needed to take a shower. I was like, ugh, like what did I do? But it just felt weird.
I don't know, man. How do you say no to this though?
I don't know. It does look like a lot of fun, but at the same time, it's hold on, let me see if I can...
Fans can begin exploring the fun-packed LEGO Super Mario universe with this Adventures with Mario starter course, featuring 7 action bricks for different interactions with the LEGO Mario figure. Oh my god, 7 different bricks. Holy shit. LEGO Mario has color sensors, plus the LCD screens in his eyes, mouth, and belly to display over 100 instant reactions to movement.
So this seems interesting. What does the app do? Can you find that, somebody? Because I'm still looking at the pictures here.
Like, I just remember with the trailer, I thought it was like something like...
It looks like maybe the build guide. Instead of giving you a booklet, you just follow the app. It looks like on this last image here. Oh wait, what's this video?
This says, in the Super Toy playset, LEGO Mario collects virtual coins as he runs and jumps from the start pipe to the goal pole via LEGO bricks, cloud platforms, the question block, and clashes with Goomba figures and Bowser Jr.
No, do you see this? This screenshot I'm showing here? That shows the app, right? The kid's building Bowser.
Right.
And then over on the app, it's a 3D... It's showing. It looks like the old Lego instruction booklets. It's showing that gray piece being pressed down onto the top of Bowser's head, and over here the kid's pushing the gray piece down on top of Bowser's head. So, is that the app? The app is like the booklet.
So like,
you need a fucking iPad to have a booklet for the stupid.
I went on the Nintendo like YouTube channel and I found a video where it's like a closer look at the Lego Super Mario set.
Can you share that in the doc or on Discord?
Yeah, so the figures have like almost like amiibo technology in them, where like they have like the gyroscope technology and like they like couch it. Like I don't know, there's like, it's not just like a regular Lego set is my thing. Like
I want to see this video.
Like this, it's weird because it's like a fully grown adult like playing with Legos by himself. I don't think I wouldn't do this.
Okay, here we go.
Hi,
he's
Nintendo
like
fans.
jumping like,
I'm Jonathan
this
Benning.
is Mario.
The Lego team and I have been playing Nintendo games ever since we were kids. Today, I'm happy to announce that we've worked together with Tezuka-san and his team for the last 4 years to co-develop a unique and never-seen-before way to play and interact with Lego bricks. This is Lego Super Mario.
I like that they're like
now you can build,
verifying
play,
that
collect coins,
there's a Bluetooth button on
Mario in the real world. What you see here is the start course. Since it is the entry point into the Lego Super Mario theme, it needed to
But also they're verifying that this isn't only like, this is the starter set. There's gonna be more.
Great built-in features, such as the accelerometer,
so it's making.
A sensor reading color and action bricks. A speaker allowing him to talk and play music.
All right.
Screens in his eyes, mouth, and belly to show his reaction.
So the screens in his eyes is pretty cool.
Here is the world's first reveal of 2 of our expansion sets. The Piranha Power Slide.
Oh wow, look at that castle.
Lego Super Mario launches globally.
He said Super Mario? I hate when people say that. Mario.
Get the Super Mario back now, hey.
Alright, so I feel like if you like Legos and you like Nintendo, you'll like this. Now, I think Legos are cool. I would get back into Legos if I had like the space for it. They're fun. But, so I like Lego and I like Nintendo, but I don't know if I like this. But it does seem like it's really geared towards kids only. It's not like a massive like 1,000-piece, here's Mario's... Like, or Peach's castle, you know what I mean? Like, build like some iconic level from Mario. This is like, it reminds me of like Duplo. Remember, they were like Legos, but for little babies. They were like big giant blocks that you couldn't choke on.
Yeah, that's what Mario looks like.
Yeah, he looks like one of those Duplo.
Looks like Lego, but Mario looks like Duplo.
That's right.
That's why I titled this the way that I did. Like, I feel like I'm also, like, I agree with you, Mark. It's like, I like Mario, I like Legos, but I really don't like this. But I pre-ordered it. And it's like, why? And like,
yeah, so sell it when it's hard to find.
Like, I thought it was gonna be hard to get, so I just did it. And like, I feel like that, like, I don't.
That's what you get.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know how I feel about that.
Mike, you gonna buy one?
No.
Do you think any of your kids would be interested in this?
Yes.
So you're going to buy one for them? No.
I'll send you mine.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
$60, it's kind of... But Lego has always been expensive.
Yeah, but if I was going to spend $60 on Legos, I could find something that me and my son could sit down and, like, build that would, like, take more than like 15 minutes, and then you have to imagine your Mario.
So like, imagine the original Mario on NES. It's an 8-bit system. They could get 8 colors on the screen at one time. Get those 8 colors in all assortment of Lego bricks. I bet you could build your own dope-ass Mario scene. Just because it's all
build all of World 1-1.
Right, exactly. You could do, I mean, I'm sure it's been done. It has to have been done, right? And this is just like people modding, right? This is Nintendo being like, oh, everybody likes to build Mario stuff, but you
don't want the Mad Cat controller. You want the Nintendo branded.
I just think that they fucked up by not making the Mario character something. Oh shit! I'm all stuck here. Something like this.
Yeah.
Right, that's what Mario should have looked like in that Lego thing. Yep. Just you have to build him out of, but not like these Duplo blocks. That's what throws me off about the whole thing. And
it's because like you got to shove Mario, batteries in his ass, and then he's gonna wink and laugh and
batteries. He's got to definitely be wirelessly charged.
No, dude, 2 AAA batteries not included.
Give me a fucking break. This thing sucks. Next story.
Next.
No, I don't know. It's interesting, but I feel like there's been way too much hype around this Lego Mario thing, and it's not going to really pay off.
Yeah, like you said, I'm totally in it if you're going to give me like 1,000-piece Peach's castle, or like a, Bowser castle that doesn't look like it's meant for 6-year-olds. Like, give me the challenging one to make.
Give me like a replica 1-to-1 of the Super Mario 64 like game.
Give me the Breath of the Wild castle.
Oh,
it's like
all
covered in evil and shit.
That would be dope. That would be really cool. If we got
maybe this is the start, right? Like,
they
get in.
Yeah, they want to gauge interest again, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right, so Pop has to invest now. So
that's
can
right.
Reap the benefits later.
Yeah, when you're done building and playing with that, send it to me. I want to try it.
Just
make sure to take it out in the back and spray it down with a hose and some fucking bleach first, so I don't get corona.
Years, I'm gonna have the sealed first edition Nintendo Lego crossover.
Dang.
Oh man.
You're gonna be a legend in the collecting community. Moving on. Here, let's talk about a company that doesn't want to fuck everybody out of every last penny that they have, right? We're going to talk about the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater remake that has just recently been announced for Tony Hawk 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. Is not going to launch with any sort of microtransactions.
Hallelujah.
Isn't that something? That's like newsworthy?
It's kind of sad
because I feel like the rest of this article kind of just destroys that like any hope that you have left.
Well,
because I played the Modern Warfare remaster and it didn't launch with microtransactions either, and they ruined that game with microtransactions.
So, here's the thing. The way that this article kind of posted, so in an interview with GameSpot, the head of Vicarious Visions, Jen O'Neill, Vicarious Visions, of course, doing the remake for Tony Hawk's 1 and 2 remake, stated that everything that you see at launch is going to be unlocked with gameplay. We're not planning on having monetization at launch. The reason for this being that Vicarious Visions wants fans to feel like they have received the full package upon release. So, that sounds like very careful wording and trying not to say anything that's too damning. But I think that if what is being implied is that they're leaving it the potential, like the possibility is there to add content, being able to buy content later on, as long as that is not like, buy this hat or these shoes or this deck, and instead is like, we've got 10 new levels. You want them? Yeah. It's going to be $5 or $10 or something like that. Like, I would welcome that. And I was talking about this with somebody off the podcast, just in a regular conversation about video games, about how, that was really. Or was who was I talking about it with you, Pop? Right before we started, I don't know. Maybe. The fun part about games used to be.
Oh yeah, during the stream this morning.
Yeah. Oh yeah, during the stream this morning, it was unlocking things as you progress through the game and like giving you a reason to want to beat the game with every player. Tony Hawk was great at that, right? Because if you finish the game with this player, you unlocked all their decks, all their clothing, I suppose, and their video, their skate video. That was like you wanted to get all the videos. But once you like got all the videos, it was like, oh, you beat the game with every character. You just unlocked these 3 secret levels and this hidden character, right? And then you accomplish these other tasks that are like really difficult, and it rewards you with, oh, here's another secret character. So all they have to do is provide that same type of experience. And I think that's, when she's saying, everything's going to be unlocked with gameplay, that makes me sound like, or makes me feel like it's going to be how it used to be. Play the game with this character if you want to unlock this stuff. Now, if they later on down the line add an option to be like, oh, you don't want to unlock with gameplay, you just want to buy it all right now for $20, I guess that's their own prerogative, right? If they want to do, I'm not doing that. If I can unlock it with gameplay, I'm unlocking it with gameplay.
Right.
And that's going to be that. So if people just want to pay to unlock this shit, like, okay. Why not just play? Why not just play more? You're saying you want to play more. I don't know. I would take their money too if they were going to give it to me.
You got to find that balance too, because like people, they said the same thing like with the Star Wars, the Battlefront or whatever. Like you could grind out all the stuff that you need to be able to play that game, but you'd be grinding for like months and months to get the equivalent of like drop $10 or $20 and here it all is. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, but that's just it. Like Tony Hawk was always like, oh, you beat every level, like you got to the end of the game, but you didn't finish every thing in every. Yeah. You didn't get the secret tape in every level. If you go and get the secret tape in every level and really complete these levels 100%, then it's unlocked. So if that's your idea of grinding, like in a Tony Hawk game, then it's like, without the pun of grinding. It's like, it's just completion criteria. I think like
the way that the Star Wars game did it, it was like you just have to do the same things over and over and over and over again to grind XP or whatever it was.
Right.
Like you said, it depends on like how they do the like unlock system, right? Like,
well, hopefully it's the same.
Unlock new characters and new stuff. Well, that's what you would hope, but also I feel like playing like I said, I played the Modern Warfare remaster because that's one of my favorite Call of Duty games, and it's like any hope of that being the case just goes out the window because like I didn't know that they were the ones that did the Call of Duty Modern Warfare remake, but they like that game was ruined because of the way they did microtransactions. Like it broke the game. It was unplayable because of that way, because they were literally like, hey, remember all these guns that in the original game you could unlock via gameplay?
Yeah.
Well, now you unlock them via buying random loot boxes that have a 0.001% chance of getting that, you know, FAMAS that you really want to use. And it's like, it broke the game because it's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like knowing that they're the ones that did that kind of scares me. Like,
okay, that's understandable, but since we can only speculate, I would pose the question: what would you guys be willing to spend on? Like, what would make it worth it for a Tony Hawk game? Like, if they said we have DLC that's $20, what would you want?
Well,
like, the game is going to launch at $40, right? So you're getting 2 full games worth of content already at hopefully at $40. If they post-launch said, here's some DLC for $20, like what would be acceptable for you?
It depends. To me, it depends on what the DLC is, right?
No,
like
that's what I'm asking you. Like, what if it was?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's like, hey, like the Fortnite approach of like, you really want to play as Bam Margera, the only way you can get him is if you buy him in the shop today for $10.
No, see,
right?
I'm already assuming that it will never be.
If I really like him enough, I'll spend $10 to buy that. But if it's like how they did it in Call of Duty, where it's like this thing that you really want, the only way you can get it is by buying random loot boxes that have a very low chance of giving you the actual thing you want, I'm not putting any money into it because it's just
but
not
I'm
worth
saying I'm already accepting the fact that it will never be that. Like, Bam, I'm saying, like, here's the way that I'm looking at it.
Did with Call of Duty though, like it was literally like
you can't. I don't know that works.
That you want to use in the game, like the M4 that you want to use. That's like the gun that people love to use in the original.
All right, I guess that I can't say that they won't.
That
they won't do that. I would hope that they wouldn't, but even if they did, like, I don't understand how that would even work with this game, right? Because, like, Bam Margera is a playable character from the get-go. So if they all of a sudden changed it to that extent where, like, they locked up an original playable character, then
it's the same.
Yeah, but as soon as that happens, nobody's buying the game. As soon as that gets out there,
comes out,
right? So people will buy it, but then everybody's gonna be like, "Don't buy this shit," because this is what they did, and they're gonna change it. Like, the fans will not stand for that. People are gonna be demanding their money back if it's like that. They can't be that stupid. They cannot be. You and me, we don't make video games, and we know that will not work out well financially for them. They're gonna have a fucking crazy, like, they're gonna have people chasing them out of the town with pitchforks if they do that.
I don't know, because it's like it worked for Call of Duty, and it's working.
Stop saying Call of Duty. Tony Hawk and Call of Duty are not on the same level. Call of Duty should be bowing at Tony Hawk's feet.
I mean, okay, but to
not Call of Duty.
But hold on. Modern Warfare it's better than any any Tony Hawk game that's ever come out. Like, it's more successful.
Oh,
more
sure, yeah.
Okay. Like, but what I'm saying, right, is that it's like they know that I really like that game, so I'm gonna buy it regardless. Like,
yeah.
Are you not going to buy Tony Hawk regardless of how you know that the DLC is going to come out? Because the thing is, they're already telling you it's not going to be at launch, right? So, like, your assurance is there. Like, I'm going to buy this game. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what they're taking out. I'm just buying it because I really like the original.
Well, we do
which
know.
Is exactly what they did with Call of Duty.
I mean, I'll be pissed. So I can't. There's no point in arguing, right? Because neither one of us knows. But I'm just saying, like, I really don't. I think that if they say, like, here's some $20 DLC, it's going to be something along the lines of, here's like 5 more levels, and also like, or maybe it's gonna be like 5 levels from Tony Hawk 3. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
For $20, I would be willing to take a minimum of 3 new levels with at least 3 new songs, 1 for each level to add to the soundtrack.
Okay.
2 new characters with however many outfits every character is going to get and their decks or whatever. For $20, that's the minimum of it.
That's the minimum, but that still seems kind of stingy.
3 levels, 2 characters.
Because I would say, like, for $20 should be like a season pass to get everything that they're going to release. That would be like, you know, or if they want to sell things piecemeal. I just don't think that this game is the type of game. I mean, what's the point of buying like new gear? Like, are they going to sell like new hats that have never been in the game, and like you can wear this hat while you're playing online and show off your swag? Like, who gives a fuck about that? Because that's not what Tony Hawk has ever been about. Like, no, the fact that you're gonna,
that is a lot of the microtransaction community. Like, oh yeah, you know, spend the $10 and get.
I've always felt that way about games though. Like, if you want to spend money to change your character's aesthetic appearance, fine, go ahead, company. Good luck on getting that money from people. Like, but you're right, Pop. If it's loot boxes, that's unacceptable. Loot boxes, I don't think is going to be a thing for much longer because nobody tolerates that bullshit. Like, they don't.
Except Activision, because they do it with Call of Duty every year, which is what scares me. Like, it's like they're known for doing.
I think
I did it with Destiny as well. Like, it's just that's how they. I don't know.
That's how we roll, dog.
Like, if it was just like, oh, they made but the fact that they worked on Modern Warfare, which was like the biggest abuser of that system, is just like, it's terrifying because they literally ripped features out of the original game that they knew people would like and pay for, and put them behind loot boxes. It ruined the people stopped playing the game because of that.
Video game companies are evil, man.
Active. Yeah. Agree.
Well, they have confirmed what the soundtrack's going to be at launch, and it does actually look like there's going to be quite a bit of stuff, unfortunately, that's missing. So this article from IGN, it's Jonathan Dornbush at IGN, who, by the way, hosts a really great podcast. If you guys don't listen to Beyond, the IGN's PlayStation podcast, it's one of my favorites. It's really good. Jonathan Dornbush, Brian Altano, Max Scoville, and Lucy O'Brien. It's fantastic. They do about an hour every week, so go check that out if you haven't already. But anyway, Jonathan Dornbush has this article on IGN. It's basically just the songs that are confirmed and the songs that are going to be missing. And I think it's easier just to talk about the ones that are going to be missing.
Yeah.
Psycho Vision from Suicidal Tendencies, Committed by Unsane, Bring the Noise, that's an iconic from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Anthrax and Chuck D. And my favorite song of the 2 games, B-Boy Document 99, that was the High and Mighty featuring Mos Def and Mad Skills. And I like how they changed it to Mos Def's new name, Yasin Bey.
Yes.
Which is interesting. And Out with the Old by Alley Life featuring Black Planet. But if that's all that's really missing,
then they did.
It's kind of impressive that they got everything else.
Yeah. I'm looking at the list
for a
here.
game that's known so much for the soundtrack that you listen to while you skate, like,
totally,
it's spot on for them that they nailed getting all these. It's really gonna make it.
Also, too, I like the fact that this article also says that there's like an official Spotify playlist now of
right,
Tony Hawk 1 and 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, when I was trying to link into the doc, it kept linking to the Spotify playlist. So I'm like, oh, okay, sure, why not? I just went. I will not play that music here though, so we don't get copyright flag.
Right.
Do you think there'll be any new music? Like, I know they've confirmed.
Yeah, they're gonna charge you $5 a piece for it because they hate you.
Probably, yeah.
$20, 3 songs.
Ugh. Oh God, I don't know. I don't see that happening. Here's the thing. You go into options, right? You go to background music, turn it off completely. Then put on other music. As a matter of fact, on the PS4, I don't know where you guys plan on buying this game. Are you guys going to pick this game up?
Yeah.
Because on PS4, you can log into your Spotify account on your PS4 and play it in the background while you're playing games. Yep. So right there, you can have it in the game. I mean, I pay for Spotify, so I can like play full albums if I want to. But even Spotify and Shuffle is, if you're listening to the type of music that you like, you should never be confined. In 2020, you should never be confined to a game's. If it has licensed music and it's just like there to provide like music while you do the thing that you're doing, you should be able to pick the music. I think these days. It's kind of crazy that you can't. Moving on.
Yeah, music. Hooray.
Sony likes money.
No, really?
Yes.
Like money?
A new PS4 Pro version was announced for The Last of Us Part 2.
No way.
Yeah. They're sold. Pre-order yet? I want to, but they're sold out, so that's probably for the best. But I will try and get my hands on the controller. So what they did, Sony, we're just talking about this thing. I mean, apparently.
What is?
What?
Is this like a Last of Us branded external hard drive?
It is. Yeah. So here's so and the PlayStation blog. Celebrating The Last of Us Part 2 with a limited edition PS4 Pro. And what you've got is, instead of just a silk screen image on the top of the PS4, it's actually engraved into the top plate of the PS4 Pro. It's Ellie's tattoo with the moth and the ferns. And it's really nice looking. The controller... Not so crazy. I like the controller, but I'm not so crazy about the logo being on the touchpad.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't like the logo on the touchpad. Like it looks weird.
I don't like the logo on a lot of this stuff actually. Like on the touchpad of the controller seems out of place, and then right on the front, like right in front of the disc, like input.
Yeah, it's silk screen on there too.
Yeah, like that doesn't like what happens when you
play a different game
vertically.
Well, then you gotta turn your head sideways.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, that's cool. You got the limited edition one? That's neat. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Also, part of the bundle, they have platinum. A gold wireless headset, which is Sony. Is it gold or is it platinum?
I think it said it was the gold.
Okay, yeah. And that's got the Ellie's tattoo on the inside of the headband, and then it's got The Last of Us Part 2 on the outside again, really driving it home. And then, of course, as a matter of fact, hold on one second.
I just hope that I can find day one after this game comes out, someone on Twitch with the limited edition headset and the controller playing it on their limited edition console with their hard drive. Mm-hmm. I hope I get to see that on Twitch, like day one of launch.
But also, like,
you will. Here's the Seagate. Here's the Seagate drive, right? This is a PlayStation branded Seagate drive, and what they've done is they've just taken this and put the tattoo and The Last of Us Part 2 on that. But 2 terabyte drive to add to your 1 terabyte PS4 Pro. That might be the best part of the whole thing, if that's actually a bundle. But they're sold out.
Yeah. It's weird. Like
it's weird. Like who is this for? This is for collectors, right? Only.
Yeah, it has to be, because like I feel like I'd be more interested in this if it wasn't like it's like I just feel weird about buying like a new PlayStation when like
PS5 is about to come out.
PlayStation is supposed to come out in less than like 5 months.
No, believe me, I really want this as a collector of Naughty Dog things. I really want that, but I'm not gonna pay some scalper some ridiculous amount of money. Like I can probably find, as a matter of fact, Mike, let's be real. Mm-hmm. All you need is a vector image of that, and you could pop that into a CNC machine and engrave it into whatever the fuck you want. So
you could turn The Last of Us the right way, so you could stand it up vertically.
Right, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, the thing looks great. I like a lot of the special edition consoles that before they changed the design. The Metal Gear Solid 5 console was really cool looking. There was a Destiny one. The one that I bought that came pre-packed with Destiny that you have now, it's just all white console. Yeah. It's the Spider-Man one is really awesome. The one that I have in the closet over there, the 500 million edition, the clear translucent. So many cool consoles that they came out with. But this is
Another one.
Yeah, they know that these will sell, and I'm sure there's some people out there who played The Last of Us on the PS3 and still haven't gotten a PS4, and they really want to play The Last of Us 2, and they really want a PS4, so maybe this is the one for them, But I feel
everything you could need at that point.
A lot of people are going to buy these and keep it in the box. A lot of people are going to buy them and put them on eBay. A lot of people are going to bring them to conventions to sell there, and some people will just buy it, and maybe they'll be like, "Hey, I got a new PS4 that doesn't sound like a jet engine taking off," and maybe they finish playing The Last of Us and put it back in the box. Who knows? That's what I would do. I think
the one thing I think that I took away from, the most impressive thing that I took away from this is the box art for the box of the console is new artwork from the game, and it's just a scene of it looks like Ellie, right? There's a female character underneath a kind of tunnel looking thing with lots of overgrowth on it and stuff. That to me is the best thing about this is that artwork looks insane. I'm wow, if the game looks anything like this, if this artwork made it into the game in any form, that'll make me happy because it looks really good.
Yeah, I guess there's not a whole lot much more to say about this thing. Is anybody here going to try and get their hands on a PS4 Pro Last of Us branded?
No.
Nah, can't say I will.
I'm going to try, but I'm not going to try that hard.
We'll see.
So, but speaking of the PS5, Tom's, don't ask me to turn off my ad blocker, Tom. I'm just talking to Tom's website here.
Damn it, Tom.
So here's an interesting headline. The PS5 will be 100 times faster than the PS4. Here's how. I have to take a note. Could somebody read from this article? This is Tom's guide.
Yeah. The PS5's processor represents a huge leap over the PS4. It says if Sony's latest claims are to be believed, the PS5 could process data a full 100 times faster than its predecessor. That could lead to some unprecedentedly.
That's a fucking stupid-ass word.
Yeah, or some... they're just throwing it out there. They keep...
Wow, they repeat unprecedentedly?
Unprecedentedly large levels.
Who wrote this?
Yeah, right?
Marshall Honaroff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Information comes from a Sony corporate strategy meeting on May 19th, led by President and CEO... Kenichiro Yoshida?
Yoshida, yeah.
Sony shared a shortened form of the presentation as a PDF, and it included a fair amount of information about the
Wow,
PS5.
I just realized that the PDF is here in its entirety. The whole meeting, the whole strategy meeting, starting off with "Good afternoon, everyone. I am Kenichiro Yoshida."
Oh,
yeah.
Hello.
I was going to add a few things regarding the PS5 about this meeting, but this article kind of brought it up, so I didn't. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is the epic Unreal Engine 5 thing, where it's a lot of it could be 100 times faster if given like the most optimized like engine and people taking it. Like, it's like it could be 100 times faster. It doesn't mean like every game is going to be 100 times faster on the PS5.
There is a lot of stuff in here.
Elaborate much on this.
Yes, exactly.
Though a custom-designed high-speed SSD, we plan to realize game data processing speeds that are approximately 100 times faster than PS4.
That meeting has a lot of stuff. Like, it does kind of insinuate that there is going to be a PS5 reveal event like fairly soon.
Yeah, it's everything's sort of adding up to that, but wow, they talk about the spatial sound in the next gen console, immersive, seamless. It's all just like buzzwords here. Looks like they're pushing PlayStation now, all kinds of things. But I mean, the fact of talking about that the thing's going to be 100 times faster. I mean, you don't know really how they're measuring that. Like, what is 100 time? Like 100. Like, if something takes 100 seconds to load, it's going to load in 1 second. Is that how they're working it? Or are they just saying like the components are actually like performing work at 100 times fast? You know what I mean? Like, it's very vague to say 100 times faster when like what's the baseline, right? You know what I mean? I feel like it's such different technology with these SSDs that it's not like just the way that, and I'm talking out of my ass, but like the way that you would read or write memory or data to a disk as opposed to like a solid state setup, depending on like the size of the data to begin with and like what the purpose of it is, maybe needs to be taken into consideration. I don't know, you get into like this technical jargon that's not really that interesting to listen to people talk about.
Above my pay grade.
Yeah. But, you know, he says in particular that this advancement would shorten load times and facilitate moving through immense game worlds at high speeds. And then the article calls back to Mark Cerny's deep dive on the PS5. And everything kind of like everything that he was saying there, this claim of 100 times faster does sort of seem to line up with everything that Mark Cerny was talking about in that presentation. So, hey man, if the PS5 is 100 times faster than the PS4, that'll be a fucking blessing, as far as I'm concerned. Because not to say that the PS4 is slow, but like I said, downloaded Red Dead Redemption 2 today. And I think it took about 90 minutes for that. And I know that has more to do with the internet, but I'm sure writing it to the drive would be much quicker, you know, on a solid state than with a spinning disc.
I don't care about how the games perform or anything. Like, the biggest thing for me for the PS5 is like, games have to download faster. There's just no excuse. Like, it's not, I feel like it's not internet. Like, I feel like it's just like the PS4, for whatever reason, just downloads things like at a much slower rate than anything else.
On my original PS4, the one that I sold to Mike, the one that he has now, there was some guide I found online where you could go into your DNS settings and change the DNS address. And by doing that, based off of your location, like, I noticed a considerable increase in download speeds when using a wired connection. But you're right. I mean, when you download something off of Steam or the Epic Game Store, it's like, especially when you're loading it onto a solid state drive, which I don't do all the time on this computer because I have 2 different types of drives. But it's just the download is fast. Forget about the install. The download is really fast, and I have the same Ethernet connection going into my PS4 that I have coming into my computer. So I really don't understand it. It's like, why are they throttling it back so much?
Right.
Is it like Sony's servers? Like, are they trying to? I don't know why. I don't know enough about it to make the claim.
real quick too, just another, because like I said, there was a bunch of PS5 stuff that I saw pop up, but I didn't add it because I feel like this kind of touched on everything with that meeting and stuff. The one thing that didn't touch on that I just want to throw out there, very like sketchy sources, but like the internet, especially on Twitter, seems to think that the PS5 is going to cost $650, and I don't know where that started from, but it like caught fire. There was like a few places that like picked it up. Like I said, the sources were kind of sketchy. But if you think the PlayStation is going to cost $650, you're out of your mind.
I mean,
there's no way.
It would make for some great memes.
Oh, that would be the like biggest.
Because I won't come out here and say that there's no way that it could cost $600. Because there's in some universe that's possible, but $650, I think they might as well just push. They just say like, nope, it's delayed. It's delayed, and we gotta work us on stuff. Don't do $650.
Biggest dick move ever.
$550 was like $500 is kind of what everybody expects.
Just let me whip it out real quick and show it to you.
I don't
$650. We don't give a fuck. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, right. Everybody wants to pull them out and flop them on the table and compare.
You could buy 2 Switches for resale for this price, or buy the PS5, no games included.
I think $650 is out of the question. I could see if it comes out at $500, that would still be disappointing. I'm still sticking to my original guess of $450. I think that's what it should be, and I don't think it's tacky to put the $50 after. $400, they'd be selling at too much of a loss. $500 is kind of a little. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm just still gonna keep my guess to keep it interesting. Because we still do have to do new predictions, right? All the old predictions are sitting there stale.
My reveal date for February 5th didn't go so great.
And, if it wasn't for this bullshit, maybe you would have been right, but...
The road.
Do you guys care about Call of Duty, the next Call of Duty?
Dude, this is the fakest, screenshot I've ever seen.
Well, no. The screenshot, right? The screenshot where it says... Cold War.
Yeah.
That's not the artwork behind it is apparently legitimate artwork. It just was not finished. It was unfinished, so somebody just put that there to be like, yeah, this is what the game's gonna be called.
Yeah. The Cold War is not even the same font.
No, it's just like Helvetica or something.
Yeah. I mean, this has been heavily rumored. This kind of isn't a surprise. The one thing I will say is that, in traditional years, this is around the time that, we would be getting a reveal for the new Call of Duty for next year. It's usually around this time when they're like, hey, the Call of Duty competitive scene is winding down. Here's the new Call of Duty. We're going to show off a trailer or whatever. So, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you know what? We didn't really explain exactly what we're talking about, but it was leaked that the next Call of Duty is going to be called Black Ops Cold War, which is what the original Black Ops took place during the Cold War. And
it's also been rumored that they're going for just like Modern Warfare, the Modern Warfare that's out now, the most recent one, that it's a reboot of the Modern Warfare series. That's why they call it Modern Warfare. And it's also rumored that it's going to be a Black Ops reboot, which is
soft
why
reboot,
going back to the Cold War, and so it all adds up.
Included the initial Black Ops release was set during the Cold War and included missions in Vietnam and Laos, among others. Plus, Activision has recently teased that a reboot to the Black Ops was just around the corner. So, despite the cheesy font laid on top of the artwork, the sources or the references here seem pretty legit. It seems like this thing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I guess there was something on the Warzone edition of the new Warzone, the Call of Duty Warzone, that there was some locked bunker that you could get into that had all sorts of what was it? Yeah, May 19th update to Call of Duty Warzone let players unlock the doors of a secret bunker that has been sealed shut since the free-to-play Battle Royale's launch in March. The inside was riddled with hints of the Cold War era, like a war room, a countdown clock, and a nuclear warhead. So they're doing like the really cool thing that like Fortnite does of like teasing shit within their game, which... You know, it's kind of like, all right, guys, but also kind of cool if you're into Call of Duty. Yeah. Like, I could see how that would be exciting, and it might change. Like they're talking about, there might be like a nuclear explosion that changes the Warzone map.
Yeah,
just like they did in Fortnite.
And also, it makes sense as well because with Warzone coming out as free to play, it's kind of insinuated that it's going to last longer than just this Call of Duty. Where, like, you know, Call of Duties are typically, like, only one year. But, yeah, like... So, like, that makes sense. Like, I could see why they would tease it there.
Mike, you interested in this Call of Duty reveal? Or leak, sorry?
I mean,
do you care
not so much
about Call of Duty anymore?
The thing that really gets me the most is, like you said, with the vaults that have been there the whole time. I actually watched... Tim the Tapman nade shot compilation where the two of them like found a key and got into one of these vaults while they were playing. So like the idea of these big like multiplayer games that are constantly online, you know, like all the time, that really, like, when I think of these games, I don't think of any story whatsoever. But if you think about the way that like Fortnite has handled it, like that game, even as you say, oh yeah, you jump off a bus and you try and be the last one alive. Like that's the whole point of the game. But if you like ask me what the story of Fortnite is, like you could go into all the way back from the beginning. And then there was this thing, and then there was a meteor, and then there was an explosion, and then there was a black hole, and then there was no Fortnite, and then boom, there was Fortnite again, and then there were Star Wars, and then there was John Wick, and then, you know, there's like so much stuff that you can like talk about for a game that's just like, yes, every single time you turn it on, you fall out of a bus and try and be the last one alive. Like, that's it. But yeah, so for another game to like try and carry a story, even if it's just a teaser for another thing that they have coming out, like I like seeing using these living games as some medium of traveling a story.
Yeah, no, it's totally cool. I think that's the coolest part about the whole thing.
Actually. Because Apex Legends has like tried to kind of just copy the whole like Fortnite route of like, hey, we're gonna try to tell a story, but like they don't do this stuff where they're like, the thing that Fortnite does that's really good that other games haven't copied is like the idea of like, hey, we're going to tease stuff 3 seasons from now in this season.
Here's the thing in the world that everyone looks at and goes, oh, that's kind of strange, but I wonder what's up with that.
Yeah, this just seems like a random poster, and then in 2 seasons that poster means something because
it's the most relevant thing on the map.
Exactly. That's what like Fortnite has done, and like no other game has done that. And like Apex has tried to implement a story, and it just hasn't worked. Where like them even including the Cold War, just like, okay, the next Call of Duty isn't going to come out until September, October, so like you can tell that they're already
keep riffing on this,
which which like seems like they're headed that direction, which I think like will it only like furthers that, like, right, like it adds to that because people's like, oh, the bunker's open, and now I find all this stuff in the bunker, and then this thing happens, and then like 2 seasons from now I can go back and look at like, hey, that thing I found in the bunker was really cool because now I know that it means this thing. Like, I don't know, like I feel like Fortnite has done such a good job of like laying out how to do that and being successful at it, and I'm surprised other games haven't copied it, so it seems like Call of Duty is kind of taking that approach.
Yeah, this kind of makes me wonder though, like in the day and age of like where you could get an update every time you turn your game on, like why don't more people just add things after the fact? Like once you know you're going to do a sequel, like why not go back to the first one and add something in there that you could be like, oh, remember this thing? Like, oh, it's really a thing to this.
That's why I really like the Arkham games, like the Batman Arkham games, like because they do a really good job of that. Where it's like I think in Arkham Asylum, somebody like 5 years, like Arkham City had already come out, like it had been out for a while, and then somebody found that in Arkham Asylum, if you like put the explosive gel on a certain wall, and you had to do 3 explosive gels. Like it wasn't
on an unmarked wall to find.
Unmarked wall, you could blow it up, and it led to a secret room that had the blueprints for like essentially the whole like idea of Arkham City. And It's just like crazy that like that didn't get discovered until like after that game had already come out, and people like then found it. So it's pretty cool to see stuff like that. But
yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but if it's still Call of Duty, then I'm not that worried about it.
No, we're talking about Batman.
Batman.
I like Batman.
No, I was just thinking, in a day and age where you can get an update for any game, like every time you turn it on, why would more companies not go back and add little teasers in their game if they know they're going to make another one? If you get approved for a sequel, why not have the first thing be to go back to the first one you made with an update and add something that has some kind of relevance to this one?
Yeah.
As a form of a new teaser.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
It's a cool business model to think about going forward. This episode is running a little long, but we've got one more topic to get through, and it's a really interesting headline, actually. Let me just make the timestamp. So, did any of you guys take a look at this article?
Kind of. Yeah.
I'll read the headline. Take-Two Interactive plans to release 93 games over the next 5 years.
Holy shit.
What? 47 of them come from existing franchises. So, reading from, what is this? Enemy.com? Oh, Enemy? I get it. That's interesting. Enemy. Gaming news. This is by, I don't know if I can pronounce this guy's name. Suraj Singh. That's the best I can do. At enemy.com. But what it says is that Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of studios such as Rockstar Games and 2K Games, has announced that it's planning to release 93 games over the course of the next 5 years. Announced during an investor call, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick said the upcoming 5-year plan is the strongest development pipeline in its history, including sequels from our biggest franchises, as well as exciting new IP. So, I was thinking, so Take-Two Interactive has lots of companies working, with under the umbrella of Take-Two. So it's not that unreasonable to have 93 projects. What it works out to is over the next 5 years, if there's going to be 93 games planned to be released, that works out to about 18, 19 games a year, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So if you're spanning that out between, I don't know, this is what I was kind of interested in, is Take-Two as the company, who works under them.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, I feel like the bigger number is out of those 93, 63 are going to be core titles, what they say. So, like, you can expect, like, there's going to be 63, like, AAA games that come out, right? But then it's like, you have to think of, like, what they own. So it's like, it's 2K, right? So it's like 5 of those will be basketball games, right? You'll have a number 2K for each year.
Yes.
They also just signed a deal with the NFL to make football games, so 5 of those will be football games. They also have WWE, so 5 of those will also be WWE games because they come out yearly as well.
Right. So that it does.
That's 15 of the 63, so you're already down to like 48, and then it equals kind of like 5.2 games a year, which isn't like crazy when you think about it.
So if you look at the list here, and this is current under Take-Two Interactive, you've got 2K Games, like you're saying, as a parent company, but underneath 2K you've got 2K Chengdu, which is in China, 2K Vegas, which is in Las Vegas, 31st Union in Foster City, California, Cat Daddy Games in Kirkland, Washington, Cloud Chamber, Novato, California, Fire Access Games in Sparks, Maryland, and then you've got Hangar 13 and Visual Concepts, both out of Novato, California. Then Ghost Story Games is its own entity in Westwood, Massachusetts. And then Private Division from Seattle, Washington. And then you've got Rockstar Games, right? And underneath Rockstar is Rockstar India, Rockstar Leeds, Rockstar Lincoln, Rockstar London, Rockstar New England, Rockstar North, Rockstar San Diego, and Rockstar Toronto. And then one other company, Social Point. Now, these are all developers that work underneath Take-Two. And that adds up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 19 different studios. So now we're talking about one game per studio per year.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's really not. But then again, how many games is because it's Rockstar North that does Grand Theft Auto, right?
I mean, I think the last Grand Theft Auto, they had like a lot of the studios work on it.
Yeah, so maybe that's what it is. That's just how Rockstar operates. They have multiple studios to get like all the work done.
Right, be able to push resources around.
It's the same thing with Red Dead. Like, I think they had like most of the Rockstar studios come into like finished Red Dead. But yeah, like I don't know. I feel like when you look at like the like it's not like unreasonable to think, because like I said, like you have to take with no spin-offs, which like that's not even a guarantee, right? Because like NBA, like the NBA 2K series has like the street equivalent. I forgot what it's called. I don't know. They make other side games that aren't the yearly 2K NBA games, right? Like the WWE also this year just announced that they're also doing side games, right? There's like that WWE Battlegrounds or whatever it's called that's coming out that isn't.
Oh, that piece of shit.
Yeah, the yearly WWE game. So it's like, even if you just said that they're going to make the yearly ones, which I don't think is like a given, you'll have spin-offs for those series. It's like just those games take 15 of those slots, which I feel like once you take those away, it kind of puts it in a more realistic. It's like, yeah, you'll have probably a new Mafia game, a new Borderlands game, a new Grand Theft Auto, another major Rockstar game, like BioShock. A new BioShock game has been heavily like rumored, and those are all 2K games or Rockstar games. It's like when you think about like everything that they own, like it makes sense, like of how like how big they are. It's not just like one studio saying we're going to put out 93 games. It's like they own.
I also wonder though. It says like of the planned 93 games, like how many of those 93
are going to make it
actually see the light of day?
Exactly. Yeah. Some of those projects are not going to see like total fruition.
26 would be free to play. Like, so it's like, okay, like what do you expect that it's going to be like?
Yeah, they said something like 7 of them are going to be available on mobile.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
I'm looking at the list of like games that they've published, and it's just it spans such a long time, and it's too much to get through. I mean, I guess it's not that great of a story. It's just interesting. I mean, the way that I heard it, the question posed was on the Kind of Funny show, and they were asking like, is it possible to play 93 games in 5 years, and then working it out like that's 18 games a year. Do you think you could beat 18 games a year? Like, I think I could if that's all I did, but I don't know if I could do that now. I don't know if I could beat 2 games this year.
Wait, hold on. Let me tell you right now.
Oh, how many?
I'm on number 12. I'm working on my 12th game finished this year.
Okay, yeah. So I suppose if some of them are, it's possible.
Yeah,
some of them are
definitely
shorter
indie games.
Right.
Like Good Job is on there.
Yeah.
Celeste wasn't super long, but it's on there.
Yeah.
But like some of them, like Breath of the Wild, I pumped 85 hours into before I called that one done.
Right.
And then it also doesn't include like games like I said, like their kind of bread and butter is like sports games. It's like you don't really, you can't beat those. It's just like
you just keep playing them until the next one comes out.
Basketball, you're gonna play 2K for the year, like you know, like.
I wonder if it's ever gonna get to a point where it's just like you don't actually go buy a new game anymore. You just pay to update the current thing. That's technically what you're doing anyway.
That's if Xbox gets its hands on it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I used to
Microsoft exclusive.
The 2K games like religiously every year, NBA, and like there's no like from year to year. There's not like any significant updates. They could just update it like oh, this is the 2021 patch.
Yeah,
and like
that's what they should do is just give you the new roster.
Well, I'll tell you what. If the person who was answering all these questions, while they confirmed that there's 93 games being worked on, they declined to comment on if a new Grand Theft Auto was one of them. So that kind of tells me that it might be. And
I did hear a rumor that a recent Rockstar sales number report implicated that they had an idea of when it was coming, which is rumored to be after March of 2021.
So that's within the next 5 years.
Yeah, so it's showing up in their earning reports or whatever it was that this person got their hands on for Q2 of 2021.
Okay.
So
I'll be excited for whatever the next Grand Theft Auto is for sure. I think the entire world will be.
Yeah, I'm always just interested to see where they want to go with it, especially after the stories that they've told with it so far. Like, I enjoyed 3, and he was just like a silent dude falling into mafia stuff.
You love number 3.
I love 3, man. I'll still play 3 right now.
It's a great game, except for the drive-by mechanics. The shooting sucks.
No, I like it even more than I like the binding of the drive-by shooting with the Xbox controller.
Oh, yeah?
Like I don't know if it's the same on PlayStation, because I have played, I think, 0 Grand Theft Auto 5 on PlayStation.
Oh, 5.
With the Xbox controller, like for 5, you have to push one button to pull out your gun and then one button to shoot your gun.
Yeah.
But it's also at the same time that you have to use a hand to push in the gas and or brake. So you have to like, one has to be held constantly, one only when you're shooting, one only when accelerating, and then one only when braking or reversing. So it's like this dance on the top, all while trying to steer and turn the camera.
Yeah.
Like,
you
I
don't
like that.
Oh, you don't
I
like
that? I like the left and the right. You point me straight out the window and just keep it level, and I'll just keep blasting in that crowd all day.
To each their own, even though you're wrong.
My favorite mechanic about 3 is
what's it?
Swimming.
And number 3 in Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Bob.
Hey, so that dude never learned how to swim. That's all.
Hey, what do you want from him, man? He spent his time with a guy in prison who, like,
he's a mute
no
anyway.
hands.
Yeah, it was Guru from Gangstar.
Yeah.
Hey boys, I think we made it through another one.
Oh shit.
This was a good episode. 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Perfect.
Probably the longest one. Well, not the longest one yet, but the longest one since we've been putting them up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Milestones. We're hitting these milestones. 2 episodes away from number 20. Will we make it?
Oh my god.
Make sure to subscribe, like, share, do all those things. Because that's the only way that anybody's ever gonna know.
Yep.
You guys got anything you want to plug? I know that Mike's other channel had some activity.
Oh yeah,
recently.
We got an update video on A Warp in Time on YouTube. So
yes, we did.
Be on the lookout for that, because there's going to be other little fun things coming. I have some like wacky little fun ideas just to fill those voids.
And people could just search for A Warp in Time on YouTube to find that, correct?
Yes. I made sure to title it correctly too, because I get super excited when I see somebody put a new video up and then you watch it and it's just an update and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I made sure to calm down, it's just an update.
Don't
get excited.
Is there a Warp in Time Twitch channel?
There is. We used it one time, but as of recently we've done not a lot of streaming at all because I tore my entire house apart recently to reset up my entire streaming setup. So hopefully those are going to get going again pretty regular, because there are a couple games that I have, like, even in my list of games that need to be finished, that I started with my kid. Like, we started playing all the Halo games, and we also started Broforce, a couple other odds and ends, Cuphead.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, there's stuff that we need to get through that'll probably be up there. So.
Well, I like the teaser trailer, that or whatever, you know, the just basically the new content that's coming to that channel. It looks like it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Pop, you got anything to plug?
Social distance.
Yeah.
That's what I'm plugging.
I'm going to say search for Don't Hate the Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
All the stuff down below.
All the places. And leave questions in our question box. And follow us on Twitch. And subscribe on YouTube. And I think that's it for episode 18. What do you guys think? We done?
We done. Don't hate the podcast. Hate the 5 songs that you can't get in Tony Hawk Remake.
Don't hate them. Just hate that they're not there. Good night, everybody.